Sandbox MMA fans, we got a pretty quick video for you today, but I want to talk about the UFC 307 card that has been announced. Looks like we get 10 fights on the card so far. I'm sure there'll be 2 or 3 more maybe, but I'm going to go through the 10 fights really quickly because a lot of people are talking about 307. Oh, it's a shit card. Oh, the main event's undeserved. Oh, no one wants to see Raquel Pennington. Yeah, you're not inaccurate, but the card is not shit. The card is actually sneaky stacked, and we're going to go through it together right now. Without me just yapping on, I will explain, the whole Khalil Rountree and Alex Pereira thing. I will explain something that I think about the Raquel Pennington and Juliana Pena matchup thing, but let's get right into it. We're going to start, and it's the first fight of the night on this card. It's Cesar Almeida versus Ihor Potieria. Cesar Almeida, again, 5-1, but he's a glory kickboxer who is talented. We saw him go toe-to-toe with Roman Kopylov, and yeah, he got taken down, but at the end of the day, he's a fun fighter. He's going to go in there. I don't think he's the most talented mixed martial artist. He's a tremendous kickboxer, but he can get taken down very easy. At the end of the day, he's a name, and if he's one of the openers on this card, if he's on the early prelims or the prelims, this is going to be a decent card. Ihor Potieria, every fight he's in is fun, even though he's not that good. But this is going to be a fun fight, probably ending in a finish. Then you got Marina Rodriguez and Yasmin Lucindo, and Marina Rodriguez and Yasmin Lucindo are two of the actually more entertaining strawweights on the planet, so this is actually a pretty fun fight as far as WMMA goes. Marina Rodriguez's boxing's really slick, she's fast. Yasmin Lucindo has power, she's also very well-rounded. I actually think it's going to be a good fight, and these are two ranked strawweights. Then we move on to the old heads. Carla Esparza, retirement fight. Tisha Pennington, probably a retirement fight, but Tisha Pennington is fighting on the same card as her wife, so there'll probably be a little storyline there. Carla Esparza is retiring. They're going to give her a fucking send-off montage, which is stupid because they were not prepared to give Tony Ferguson one if he had retired on the Umar versus Sandhagen card, but they'll give one to Carla Esparza. Guess what, buddy? No one gives a shit about Carla Esparza. We were all cheering when she lost her belt to Zhang Weili because of the snooze fest her and Rose put on. Yeah, she's just not a good fighter, not a fun fight. Card, I agree, is shit. Retirement fight, so we get to say bye to them after. Thank God. Then you have a sick welterweight matchup. Stephen Thompson, unreal striker versus Joaquin Buckley. I think he's ranked like the 8th and the 11th, or the 6th and 11th or something like that. Stephen Thompson obviously higher ranked than Joaquin Buckley, but Joaquin Buckley's coming off a couple wins in a row now at welterweight. Couple of big name wins. He beat Nursultan Ruzaboyev impressively. He had a Vicente Luque win impressively, even though Luque looked like shit. Stephen Thompson, Joaquin Buckley, sick fight to make, dude. This is a good fight. I reckon it's going to take place mostly on the feet. I do think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is just going to beat up Buckley on the feet to the point where Buckley does need to shoot a couple of takedowns. But Buckley's not the kind of guy to lay and pray. Like, if he gets a takedown on Wonderboy, he's going to try and do damage. So, very interested to see how this fight goes. You can do a lot with both guys, either win or lose after this. So, if Stephen Thompson loses, you look at an MVP matchup. If Joaquin Buckley loses, you can look at another Kevin Holland matchup, or you can look at some other kind of matchup. You can look at a Jeff Neal or RDA loser. You can look at like a couple of different matchups there. It's a sick fight. Wonderboy Thompson and Joaquin Buckley. Say less, dude. You have two unbelievable fighters. Then you get Roman Dolidze, a name coming off a win over Anthony Smith, and at light heavyweight goes back down to middleweight, and he fights Kevin Holland. Everyone loves to see Kevin Holland fight. All of his fights are fun. I think this will take place on the feet, and Kevin Holland will likely get the victory because while Roman Dolidze's grappling is very good, Kevin Holland's no slouch in the grappling. But Roman Dolidze doesn't know how to take people down. He knows how to grapple with you when he's on the ground, but he doesn't do a good job of getting it to the ground. I reckon he stands in there and just tries to strike with Kevin Holland and just gets pieced up. But this fight is going to be sick. Another, really good fight. And, these are all prelim fights. It's insane. Kevin Holland versus Roman Dolidze on the prelims, sick. Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley on the prelims, sick. That makes way for a great card. Then you got Jose Aldo and Mario Batista. Unreal fight. Now, granted, this is a fun fight. It's very winnable for Aldo. Aldo deserves to be fighting up the rankings. It should be Aldo versus Davison Figueiredo. It should be Aldo versus Sandhagen. It should be Aldo versus Petr Yan again. It should be Aldo versus someone up in the rankings. He already beat Chito Vera. But instead he's getting a tough 13 ranked bantamweight when he should be the number 5 ranked over Cheeto, but end of the day, it is what it is. We get to see the return of Jose Aldo back in Salt Lake City, where his career we thought it was ending, but Marab had spoiled it. Very happy Aldo came back out of retirement and is stringing some fights together here. Think Aldo's going to win. I think he's going to be able to stuff the takedowns of Mario Batista, and I think his boxing is so much better. Mario Batista is going to try and land low kicks, but I think that Jose Aldo can check a couple and then go right back to the boxing. If he can beat up Jonathan Martinez, who's way better at low kicks than Mario Batista, and while Jonathan Martinez boxing's pretty mid, Mario Batista's is all right, but Jose Aldo's is better. And if he gets into a boxing fight with Jose Aldo, Aldo's going to piece him up. Gonna be a sick fight. Aldo, Mario Batista opening up the made card's awesome. Then you got high-ranked featherweights, or low-ranked, I guess I don't really know how you want to call it, but the number, 9 or the number 8 in Aljo Sterling versus Movsar Evloev, who I believe is 4. Good fight. 2 grapplers. Genuinely boring fighters individually on their own. But I think when you put the 2 boring fighters together, it usually makes for a pretty fun fight. And I'm not saying like Leon Bilal, because they're 2 different styles, but you have 2 guys that predominantly like to grapple. I think their grappling might neutralize each other here. And again, it's a different kind of style of grappling. Aljo has a weird type of grappling where it's more jiu-jitsu-esque, where Movsar Evloev is more sambo. Movsar Evloev doesn't really have finishes. Aljo Sterling, again, can finish a fight, but he's notorious for being boring. But at the end of the day, when you see this, you got 2 grapplers, when the 2 grapplers fight each other, it's usually a stand-up fight, and they usually sling leather. So I think it's going to be a very fun matchup between Movsar Evloev and Aljo Sterling, and this has major, major implications for the featherweight division. Now we're going to talk about these 2 fights here, these 4 fighters. Now, what's probably going to happen is Raquel Pennington is going to batter Juliana Pena, but Pennington's going to get attention from this win because Juliana Pena is going to yap. That's what I'll give for Juliana Pena. She is a terrible fighter. She somehow beat Amanda Nunes. I still don't understand how that happened. Well, I do. I can't believe Nunes shit the bed that bad that night. She must have not trained at all. But Pena and Pennington, this is going to have heat on it. Pena's going to talk. Pennington's going to yap back. And it's going to draw enough attention where when Pennington wins, she'll get a little bit more value on her name. Then you got Kayla Harrison here. Kayla Harrison versus Ketlen Vieira. Everyone's going to expect Kayla Harrison to batter Ketlen Vieira in this fight, but I do think Ketlen Vieira is a little challenging. But what it's doing is it's setting up Kayla Harrison to fight the winner for the title. Kayla Harrison will probably beat both of these ladies as well. All 3 of these ladies, I'm taking Kayla Harrison. And then you get Amanda Nunes coming out of retirement, and you get to do a Harrison versus Nunes fight that we have wanted for so long. And they may just agree to do it at featherweight. Now, I know it's for a bantamweight title, but who the fuck cares about the bantamweight and featherweight division in women's MMA? No one does. It's light. It's not super talented except for her and Amanda Nunes. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes. So this is all leading to a Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes fight. She's just got to get through Ketlen and then Raquel or Pena. But Kayla versus Raquel could end up being an intriguing matchup. Not this fucking barn burner that everyone's going to be like, wow, I'm buying a pay-per-view based off of this. But a good support fight to a loaded up pay-per-view like a Bilal versus Shavkat or like a Wonder Boy, like a like Usman or like a Chimaev or a DDP Strickland or something like that. So, this is all a setup to get Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes, which is what we're going to want to see, but all the ladies got to do their job first, and Kayla Harrison versus Pennington may sell if Juliana Pena can start yapping with Pennington the fight before and drop some attention. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. Now, this is going to be violence. But to me, it's the easiest fight of Alex Pereira's career. It's easier than Andres Mihalidis. Now, that might be a stretch. But Andre Mihalidis would have threatened to grapple. Rountree's not going to grapple. Rountree's just going to stand there and try and Muay Thai strike with Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira's going to put him out with that left hand. Khalil Rountree is super susceptible to getting slept with the left hand. We haven't seen Pereira, we do see Pereira fight southpaws, right? Like he fought Jamal Hill, he got the left hand in there. He's fighting Khalil Rountree, he's going to get the left hand in there. We've seen Rountree have serious trouble fighting guys like Dustin Jacoby with the low kicks. What do you think Pereira's going to do to his leg? This is a layup, walk in the park for Alex Pereira, but if I'm being real, I love it. I don't love this fight, it's fun. I don't love that Khalil Rountree's the one getting it, but I do love the fact that we know Alex Pereira is going to get a big win, and that is just going to set the table for an eventual John Jones-Stipe Miocic matchup where Aspinall's name's going to be in the picture, or you got other guys that are starting to get built at light heavyweight. You have Izzy maybe coming up, which I don't think will happen. I think he's terrified of Pereira at light heavyweight. You have eventually DDP winning some fights where he can go up to light heavyweight, but you also have Rakic versus Ankalaev, where the winner of that is a deserving contender for Alex Pereira. So you're keeping Alex Pereira active, giving him a pretty easy win, and you're going to get a legit tested contender in Ankalaev or Rakic. You could give it Ankalaev right now. But does Ankalaev really deserve it? Now, of everyone at light heavyweight, he is the most deserving. But like, dude, he's coming off a Johnny Walker win. He did beat Volkan Ozdemir and Nikita Krylov, I believe. But good wins, like almost undefeated. He had a really close fight where he beat Jan Blachowicz, but at the end of the day, he doesn't draw the attention. He wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi, so he wasn't accepting any fights that weren't in Abu Dhabi. He wants Alex Pereira to go fight him in Abu Dhabi. He doesn't garner attention, like he's just not a superstar fight. Ankalaev gets a win over Rakic this weekend, who I think is going to be the toughest matchup in the division for him, not named Alex Pereira or Jamal Hill. Like, Rakic is a tough fight. If he gets through Rakic, you have the number one contender for the Alex Pereira belt. You do. And it's an intriguing fight. It's completely deserved, and we're going to want to see it at that point where, like, Bilal eventually became undeniable. Ankalaev's got to become undeniable. But let's talk about why Khalil Rountree doesn't deserve this. Bro lost to Johnny Walker with a quick Muay Thai elbow, like a sneak stab elbow. Beat Eric Anders, who's now at fucking middleweight. Ion Kudalaba, who sucks. He's 14-4, but every time you look in there, he sucks. He got mounted and elbowed. Terrible. Then you have Alvia canceled bout, Marcin Prachnio. So, like, this dude lost 3 of 4 fights before he went on a streak. About to get cut. Loses to Marcin Prachnio, which is embarrassing. But then he go oblique kicks Modestas Bukauskas. Not a high-level opponent. Carl Roberson. Not even in the UFC anymore. Super low-level, terrible opponent. Dustin Jacoby. Win via split decision. How about a loss via unanimous decision on everyone else's scorecards? Jacoby beat the fuck out of him. So again, tainted win. Chris Daukaus, who literally is allergic to winning fights against powerful fighters. Welcome to the I knocked out Chris Daukaus club. He's been knocked out 6 times, and it was all coming within this timeline when he got knocked out by Khalil Rountree. He's been knocked out by Blades with the hands. He's been knocked out by Derek Lewis. He gets knocked out by everyone. But it's okay. He had a fight against Mirzakhanov that got canceled. Whatever. He ends up getting the Anthony Smith matchup. He knocks out Anthony Smith, who got masterclassed by Roman Dolidze. I don't understand. Anthony Smith's like best wins here at light heavyweight are like Ryan Spann of recently. That's terrible. Guy not even in the rankings anymore. This is terrible. I just don't understand. I don't understand how this guarantees you a title shot, but to make matters worse, he has a fight scheduled with Jamal Hill. He pops for PEDs, has to pull out. So what do we do to reward him? We give him a title fight. I just don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me, but let's not sit here and say UFC 307 is a bad card. UFC 307 is a very, very good card. Is the main event undeserved? Yes. Does anyone give a fuck about the co-main event? No. But the rest of the fights are pretty damn good. I am excited for UFC 307, and you better be too. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any ideas for videos I should do next.